All right, I'm the Flat Rate Master. Today we're talking about, well, your efficiency. Now, a while ago, I did a video talking about, the shop's booming. I billed 70 hours in 1 week and I got accused of ripping people off. And no, we don't rip people off here. We just don't. Also, got mentioned is, well, if you work, 70 hours, who cares? You're just killing yourself. I don't work 70 hours. The only night I work late is tonight, where I film. So I'm stuck at the shop and I don't work. 5:30 comes along, I'm done. Now, here at the shop, because of my management level, I get here at 7 o'clock to start going through tickets, figuring out what to assign, all that kind of stuff. So I don't actually start working on cars till at least 7:30, sometimes later. And then at 5:30, I'm done. And by 5:30, I mean locked up and heading out the door, not 5:30 cleaning up. So efficiency. Talked all about all that stuff, and the main point of this is talking about your efficiency. And if you don't understand it, as a flat rate technician, if you're here at the shop for, let's say, 40 hours, you should be at least 100% efficient. For being at the shop 40 hours, you should bill at least 40 hours. Now, efficiency is not something that you can just magically make happen. The shop has to have systems in place to allow that efficiency. What I mean by that is the shop has to have things set up so you're able to be efficient. And that's not always the case. That's one of the reasons why I talk about what I talk about, is because so many shops put too many roadblocks in front of technicians to actually make hours. Wanting you to tear down a car when you don't even have parts in hand. That's something I hate. I hate tearing down a car when I don't have the parts sitting here. I would rather be checking out other cars and setting up after that repair so I have more work to do. So basically, once you get into the car, you don't have to leave until you're done, and then you can go on to the next car that's already sold. That's one of the things we do here. Normal operation here, and I'm kind of getting a little diverged because I'm trying to help shop owners who watch my channel, how I operate the shop here. And yes, me. This is how I've developed the shop to run, is in the morning, service writers take in cars, write them up, and the technicians start checking out cars. Normally the morning is for checkout. You pull a car in, you diagnose whatever issue is, you write up any other needs found on the vehicle, whether it needs brakes or, it's got an oil leak or, whatever. You write it up, you submit it for approval, and then you immediately grab another car, i.e. I assign you a car. Normally, I assign a couple cars to each technician and then figure out where they're at that point and then add more cars or leave them alone, etc. The whole point of that is I want all of our cars, because the thing about it is we don't get parts for at least an hour from Worldpack. So I don't want you tearing a car down hoping the parts are right, delivered correctly and all that. I want you backing that car out, pulling another car in, getting it checked out, getting it sold, and then that process continues until everything's checked out through the shop. Now, obviously, there are some caveats. Waiter oil changes, we only take a limited number of those, and for the most part, Cole takes them and, kind of screws him a little bit in the morning, but I try to take care of them. Doesn't always happen, but I try. Then after we've gotten the morning rush taken care of, then part starts coming in, and then we start knocking out jobs. What that allows us to do is we get all the diag, checking out cars done for most of the cars, and then we're just able to pull a car in and work. Now I know this is not going to work in especially a dealership type environment. It's one of the things I've had to work with Zach and Billy is getting into that mindset of mornings are checking out cars, afternoons for fixing them. But that's what we do. So the reason I do that is so once you get done checking out cars, you can just rock and roll. You can pull a car in, tear it down, put it together, back it out, test drive it, quality control it, park it, pull the next car in, knock it out over and over again. That's what I want. I want that efficiency. I want to be able to do as many things as possible. I cultivated that system because I want as much efficiency in repairs as I can. If y'all have done diag, you know sometimes it's not a straightforward process. Sometimes you've got bobbing and weaving and, etc. So I want the mindset in the morning to be diag and late afternoon to afternoon knocking out cars, just working on them till they're done, getting on to the next one. I went through all that to explain our system because that's the system I've set up to promote an efficient environment. Because I don't want techs waiting around for parts. I don't want to see guys hanging out, watching YouTube because cars tore apart, I can't do anything. No, I want them have the parts in hand, knock it out, move on to the next. So getting back to the whole efficiency thing. So your shop has to have some systems in place to promote that efficiency. So some techs at some shops, there's just, the deck is literally stacked against them. There's no way they're going to achieve even 100%, let alone better than 100%. Their shop is not set up that way. But for me, I look for a technician to at least bill 55 hours a week, being here 45. Now some of the guys will work longer hours, which is fine, and it gives them the opportunity to bill more than 55 hours easily. If you're working more hours, it's easy to bill more hours. I personally don't. Like I said, 5:30, I'm out. I want to go home, spend time with my family. Call me crazy. Efficiency comes from the shop and you. Working inefficiently, and I've talked about this many times on this channel. Working efficiently on a repair is key. There's only so much you can do with the shop systems. Your systems can develop to the point where you're producing 125, 135. There's dealer techs that easily break 100 hours. They've got the advantage because they know the cars they work on and they know all the tricks. So it's easier for them. But on the other side of it, they've got warranties, so warranty times suck. But even with that, they can still bill upwards of 80, 90 hours in a week. It does happen. I know a lot of people out there going, oh, there's no way. It happens. Now, I know I'm going to get the comments about rust, and the guys I know up in the north, if it breaks coming out, they bill for it. Now, if it breaks going in, they eat it. So get your shop to bill for it. Yes, there's going to be loss of efficiency from rust. We know there is. There's no way around it. So that is something to consider up north is, yes, you're going to lose some efficiency to rust. But as Eric O, talks about, rust is, made him a nice living. So you guys have repairs that we never see because we don't have to replace that because it doesn't rust out. So Anyway, I digress about the whole rust issue, but yes, you should, even in a rusty environment, at least be able to hit 100 to 110% on a weekly basis if the shop is not stacked against you in their policies and how it's run. So I want you to understand that, yes, 70 hours, not the first time I've hit it, probably won't be the last. You know, James has hit 100 hours here. Another tech that used to work here has hit 100 hours. And that's billing all at a time, not, you know, oh, I think that job pays 12 hours and it, you know, book pays 3. It doesn't happen that way here either. So, you know, yes, we have some spec times that are a little high in some cases, also really low in other places. So it's, you know, shop jobs like that, you're either going to do okay, you're going to lose, or, you know, you're going to make a little bit of time. But, you know, you're not going to make a ton of time on a brake job anyway, so I hope you learned a little bit about shop efficiency and technician efficiency. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.